Yeah, I think recording is in progress. Going to share my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, let's see if you have anything in particular that you would like to bring up in the down column.
Nope.
If not, let's see the pull request column.
Yeah, I have that warning one. Yeah, I just saw uh, that some tests are failing because um some of them are showing the warning more than once. I think it's because of the way each environment works. So I think I will just remove the check for just one warning and just check if the warning is there, but not check the amount of times it's being
Yeah.
checked. It makes sense, right?
Yeah, we discussed this last time, and we were saying, I think the suggestion was that given that on the CI environment, we might separate the build step from the testing step, so it might not be stable um, to do verifying in the test step, relying on some log files which are produced in the build step because we run JavaScript tests separately from the build step, especially on the Windows setup. And I think there are particularly other setups doing this similar thing. So another approach to do this is that we, given that the essential change in this pull request is just adding this build time warnings, we might be it might be also good to not test this because um, if there are any failures, these failures will be obvious at the build time. So we um, so a runtime test might not be necessary to make this change. Um, does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah,
So I will just remove everything else and leave only the this file change, right?
yeah. So that would be
Okay.
more simpler, and we don't have to care about the CI environments because I think that would be much harder to change in this pull
Uh,
request.
okay. Do you think what I did to on the build out add-ons file to add the on the tools build add-ons is the last one?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Do you think it makes sense to have another PR just to have that
Um,
to future tests that we want to check logs, or it's okay to just remove for now?
I think the convention is that we don't check build-time warnings in tests.
Okay.
We have several build-time warnings in the source code in non-Node APIs, but we don't test them. So because every time people encounter them, there will be just build tests, and they will be able to notice them just in build steps, not at the runtime.
Okay, got it. So, okay, it makes sense. Thanks.
And yeah, thank you for working on this. And yeah, I'll I'll take a look on the pull request again once you update it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so thank you for working on it and like and making sure it's always tests running. But I personally kind of commented originally on your pull request, and I obviously didn't know all scenarios. And yeah, sorry, won't have
No,
a
no problem.
big score about these things.
It was cool to like go around and try to make it work.
I was hoping we can make it work, but like we see like as soon as we start to run our CI, we see like many scenarios that it's just not.
Yeah, CI is like it covers many platforms and we do a lot of different things. So yeah, we sometimes we only discover some tricky things on these platforms until we run CI. So sorry about the chance and yeah.
Yeah, no problem at all. Thank you.
Um, anything else people would like to bring up before we jump to other
I,
pull
I didn't have
requests?
I didn't have time to work on this adding unit test with simplified C API yet, so it's something what I'm going to target next week.
Are you referring to this one?
Yeah. Yes, so technically, it seems like author so this and what Michael wrote down there and what seems like he agrees. So technically, I just need to implement it. I just didn't have time.
Yeah, no worries. Sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think the pull request will probably need a test to run it, so it'll be great if you have time to add a basic test. Thank you.
Yeah, idea is that as I already have some test infrastructure in my big pull request, so technically I want to kind of just extract some minimal part of this test here. So technically it actually also would minimize upcoming pull request. Like it will effectively reduce my pull request as well. It'll be all good in the end.
Yeah, thanks. And anything else we would like to bring up first?
No,
Okay, cool. I think,
yeah, it's all the same.
yeah.
Oh,
And anything people would like to bring up first in the to-do columns?
no.
Okay. I don't think there's anything new in this column. I do find a new status in this issue. Let's see if anything. Yeah, I think it's someone trying to answer the question, and there is no updates from the original author. So we can wait if the original author has anything to share. If not, maybe we can revisit this next time and close it as done. And let's check on the charge column. Sorry. This is quite a new one. I think it's very simple change. Yeah, just adding a comma.
I'm not native English speaker. I don't know if it, it sounds good,
Well,
but I don't know.
yeah, I think it's a correct change, right? We'll need a comma between these two sentences. Yeah, I think anyway.
It would be
Uh,
nice to ask ChatGPT about that.
I think I'm going to suggest the author to update the pull request according to our contribution guideline.
Yeah, it's a good point.
This is from Rust API Team, and it's about static function causes segment fault randomly, and Ben Noodles suggested that if they can provide any minimum reproduction, we can see if the author can provide a minimum reproduction, and we can revisit next time, because it seems like we are, in order to create the issue, we have to run their full Rust setup. So it'll be great to have a C API only reproduction.
Yes. We definitely like if it may be like you said, maybe Rust issue or like Rust wrapper for that. So thank you.
Yeah,
Need to make sure it's a issue in our code, not there.
I mean, someone has to narrow it down what the root issue is locating at. So if they don't do it and they already have the Rust version set up, it'll be like take us more time to investigate into the issue. So yeah, let's wait if they can provide a minimum setup.
Sounds good.
And this one we already have Hannah review on it. And it seems like it's still in progress, and they found a, don't think it's a good way to detect URL, like Anna suggested. So we can wait until the author update their code before we can take another review.
Seems like it was to do, and they
Yeah,
need to address this to do what we have there.
yeah. As far as I understand, the focus is trying to address this to do, but the issue is that the approach to address the to do seems wonky because it's not a good way to detect if it's a real UI or not. So that's what Anna was commenting here.
I tend to agree. I think like ideally, to say for sure if it's URL or not, we need to first parse it, try to parse it. And if parsing was successful, then it's URL. If it was not successful, it's bad URL, not URL.
Yeah. So yeah, any other comments on this one, or we can
No, I
jump
think
to others?
it sounds like it's in progress already. I think she did a good comment already.
Yeah. Okay. And I
Just
think
wonder if
this,
if we want to move it to in progress or something, since we already kind of triaged this. Everything.
yeah, good idea. I moved them to the in progress column. I think this one is just about dependencies in the GitHub flow. Sorry.
Should we just go ahead and prove such things, or what?
Yeah, I
What?
think so. I'm just checking what's changed. Looks like everything look good, and the CI passed. Yeah. proving it and land it at the end of the day. If anyone wants to take a second look, it'll be welcome.
I doubt that anyone would look at it.
Well,
It just
anyway, I will land it at the end of the day.
okay.
Uh, let's see if we have any comments on this already. No, seems like a new one. Static value and check API symbol equality.
Static value and checking. Yes. So okay, because the created symbol isn't what.
I think the issue here is that every time they initialize the class, they will define a new symbol, and this new symbol will be a new identity, and it will not. And it seems like they didn't save this symbol anywhere else, so they will not be able to retrieve this symbol property if they want to make a callback, because here it's like they're retrieving the symbol with the string named property instead of the symbol property. So I think that's the reason that why it's getting a undefined value.
As it as a retrieving symbol by
Hmm. I think the situation, I'm not sure what the author is looking at, but we can comment that.
I didn't. So what is static value? A static value is actually something what we assign on the object itself, right? Like not.
Yeah, it's like defining a static property on the class,
Right. So technically,
because
they define a property with name nope, and and uh, and value will be symbol.
yeah.
Just trying to understand like what doesn't work. How exactly they want to retrieve it back then? Get own property names. Get own property names. Okay, it says like it returns with no open remove. Yes. So now in let's say function retrieve is symbol. Get instance data.
think another issue is that if they used this correctly, let's see.
Because technically this property exists on what? It exists on a class. I guess the question like, do they use the right way to retrieve this value? I think they see this property, right? It's one of their own properties.
Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, could go back like the same function as a constructor, right? Like saying what is constructor is like how does it store constructor? Okay, they wrap it up inside of okay, they wrap it up inside of this instance data, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then they retrieve instance data. The thing it's not there. It should work, right?
Well, it should be. Let's see.
What is IP persistent? I didn't know that we
I
have.
think this is not a public API. They will probably use this. Yeah, it is. It's just a convenient wrapper um on the reference data type.
Oh, I see.
Well, probably we'll need to take a deep look into the issue
Yeah.
and then reply unless someone already has idea on the issue. If not, we can jump to other issues first. Let's see. I think you're right.
In fact, then we have unquote exception. We don't call finalization on instance data, which is I would say expected, isn't it?
Think
Mhm.
well, for I think this is more important for worker threads because in a given process, if there are multiple worker threads and one of them exit with an exception, unquote exception, and the relevant add-ons memory should be cleaned up. Otherwise, there will be a memory leak if they are using work threads. So, but V8 did not hold the finalizations rollbacks if the object at shutdown. I think we have a checklist that will be invoked at normal exit. It will be I will need to check if it was to invoke the to join the finalization list before the exception exit. I'm not sure if we had a test case for this. Maybe we should have a check.
I bet we don't have it.
Okay, then this might be worth to look at.
We have one test I remember about uncalled exceptions, but I'm not sure if we're testing that reference has been called. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think this will be this will need to be looked at.
But do you think we should call it or not? Like, what
I
should be the
think according to our contract, we should call it because there otherwise I'm not sure there will be any mechanism to pulling out the add-on memory in the uncalled exception exit.
It's a question if we can even do it or not.
We do check every single finalization callback, so we can do it.
But imagine like effectively we have a code exception. Code exception happens because we have JavaScript in a bad state. Now, if you have any finalizer which calls to JavaScript, we're not able to do it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a similar condition when we invokes the finalization callbacks at shutdown. Even in normal shutdown, they will not be able to invoke into JavaScript. That's kind of the similar condition.
Okay. But
Yeah.
what we do in this case, I think, do we throw exception or what if people try to call JavaScript on shutdown?
We already have a API status. It's called an API cannot invoke JS.
But we kind of ignore it.
Yeah, we ignore it in the Node add-on API.
Okay. So then we do shutdown, like we'll try to execute
Yeah, API cannot
finalizers.
run JS. Yeah,
But we
this
can't run
was
them.
added by Gabriel, I think last year.
Right. But if finalizer does not call JS, we save to call any finalizers to free up some native resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think going to put it here. Kevin is not here today, so we can skip this one. This is a new example, and it's not a small pull request, so it will be great to have folks take a look on this. And I think this might be related to how promise rejections are handled. So currently, if the return promise if the return promise is already rejected and the rejection handler was added after a tick on the event loop, the promise rejection handler will be the unhandled rejection handler will be emitted. So I don't think this is a particularly Node API issue. Might need to I'll take a look and reply on this. I think they already pointed out that there are similar conditions in WebStream, and WebStream has a way to like attach a rejection handler to mark the promise as settled as handled, so that even if the promise is not even if there is no user handlers on this promise, there will be no unhandled rejection emitted for this particular promise. So yeah, I think yeah, right. And I'll need to take a second look later to confirm that it's the exact same issue, and maybe we can close this issue later. Unless if anyone have other ideas on this issue.
No, sounds good.
Cool. Okay. And I think this was here for a while. I'm wondering if we can close this one, given that it's open for a while and we didn't have any actions on it. Does this sound good to you all?
Just sounds weird thinking for the issue. But sounds good.
Yeah, I think that comes to the end of the project, but before closing out, do you have anything else to discuss about?
No, it's
Nope.
all. Good day.
Cool. Thank you. I think that comes to the end of the meeting, and I'll see you on GitHub, and have a good weekend.
All
See
right.
you all. Thank
You
you for
too.
the meeting. Yeah,
See ya. Bye.
bye.